The following production of the Bang Cartoon Radio Hour contains fictional material used strictly for satirical and comedic purposes, and it should not be accepted as being factual, and all voices are impersonated.
Welcome! You!
Bang Cartoon Radio.
It's huge when it comes to learning a new guy's rear end.
Oh, stop it!
I know the National Football League.
Please.
Sometimes they run and they smell like sex.
That's how we do it.
Bang Cartoon Radio.
Look here, things need to be done around here.
A lot of people have picked us to put in the NFC, and rightfully so.
Welcome to the Bang Cartoon Radio Hour.
I did my job. I showed up.
I know.
And now, here's John and Tom.
As this is the last play of the period, we will go to overtime.
Final seconds of overtime. McNabb firing downfield, and it's broken up. The first tie game in the National Football League since Atlanta and Pittsburgh in 2002. Nobody knows how to react. Eagles 13, Bengals 13. It's over.
I've never been a part of it. Never even knew that was in the rule. But again, it's part of the rules, and we have to go with it. So, I was looking forward to the next opportunity, getting out there and trying to drive to win the game. But unfortunately, with the rules, we settled with a tie. Well, when the play was called, I kind of figured that I guess there's ties in the NFL. So, no, I didn't know that. Yeah, in college there's multiple overtimes. High school and Pop Warner. I never knew in the professional ranks that it would kind of end that way. Hate to see what happens in the Super Bowl, or hate to see what happens in the playoffs.
That's the best line of the whole thing.
He hates to see. I hates to see what would happen, John.
I'd hate to see it, Tom. What would happen in the Super Bowl? I was looking forward to getting out there for the sixth quarter. Or I should say, I was looking forward to getting out there for the sixth quarter.
Right.
Dude's nose. Blow your nose, dude.
I laughed at the tie. I laughed harder at McNabb.
Oh, yeah, I laughed at the tie, too, because I got to watch the fourth quarter and the overtime. And you know what? I don't care what he thinks about I was looking forward to getting back out there for the next possession. Neither team could move the ball. And it wasn't because there was some great knockout defense going on out there either. It was just pathetic.
Right.
God, that shot that he took on the last play of the game, that Hail Mary was, what else was he going to do? Nothing else was working.
Well, my favorite part was when they called the play in. It was going to be Hail Mary. When he looks back at Andy Reid and holds his hands up like, why are we throwing a Hail Mary?
What was it, first down?
Because there's no more time, Donovan.
Right.
Well, because, Donovan, if my blood sugar's getting low, I've been out here for 3.5 hours. I've got to have a hero.
And isn't he a team captain? I would have thought.
You would think.
But he wasn't out there for the overtime coin toss, and that is when the official explains the overtime rules.
Like they listen.
And doesn't he do it with his mic on? Doesn't everybody hear the rules?
Like they're listening. Like he's listening. He's out there making strategies in case this game goes into 3 or 4 overtimes. Look, you know who I blame? Everybody's running on McNabb about it, and it's funny because he's stupid. He doesn't know it. But it's Andy Reid's fault. How do you not tell your quarterback? If you have been with this guy for 10 years and you are his coach, and he at this point in his career doesn't know that overtime can end after the fifth quarter.
Well, here's Andy Reid defending Donovan McNabb.
I'm sure there are plenty of rules that guys don't understand, but I don't think that has any factor whatsoever to do with the outcome of this game and how they played in the overtime. You play to win in that time, whether you think you have another overtime period or you don't. You play your heart out to win it in that time. And that's how we approached it, and that's how the players approached it.
Donovan should have read Herm Edwards' book. Then he would have known.
You play to win the game.
Play to win the game.
You play to win the game.
But I agree. Him not knowing that really didn't make any difference.
No, it didn't. Of course not.
But, it's a lot different than if, they didn't know that, I didn't know that I couldn't punch the receiver in the face when he was running across the middle of the field, the ball in the air. I didn't know that.
You know, you talk about not knowing rules or not understanding, and you brought up Herm Edwards. You remember last week on Monday night when San Francisco played Arizona, and Frank Gore ran around for that touchdown, and they called him down by contact from the little touch in the back.
Right.
Herm Edwards doesn't understand down by contact. Listen to this clip.
You know what I don't understand? When they say the guy is down by contact, that rule might have to get looked at, because really Gore was stumbling and the guy just touched. He kind of put his hand on him,
like we played
and then he went down. But he wasn't really down. He was just stumbling. Well, wait a minute. If the guy was in the open field and you were trying to tackle and you missed him, he would keep running.
He would keep going. If he didn't go down,
he'd go just like the potato. He'd go right rolling like a potato down that field.
See, if in football, if you hit the man and he don't go down, he can keep going. He can keep running. I just don't understand.
Welcome to show 109.
109. This is the very special show, Tom.
It is.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Speaking of that Frank Gore play,
wait a minute. I thought last week was the very special show.
That was last week's very special show, and this is this week's very special show. And it's going to be very special because we're going to send it all out with a lot of love to every one of our listeners named Frank. For no other reason. Just that's the name that came up in my head. Right. You know, you were speaking of that Frank Gore play. I was going to save this till the end, but here Heath wrote us an email. Poor Heath. Fuck! I got Frank Gore on my fantasy team, and I can't believe that bullshit. When he got tapped on the back, and it was considered down by contact. What the fuck? So if somebody's shoelace is untied and you yank it and they fall, is that down by contact? Yes, as a matter of fact.
Yes, it is.
It is. That's called a shoestring tackle. If somebody's pants fall down and you touch their dick, is that down by contact? Well, now see, here you go taking a left turn here, Heath. All right? You lost me here. All right, he says, F the NFL, the National Fine League, the no football league, no fun league. It sounds to me like Heath's just thinking about guys running around with their pants down. He probably wants to get into that 49er locker room. All right.
You know, the Steelers. How about the end of the Steelers game? I know some people won or lost a fantasy game because they either had the Steeler defense or were playing against it and thought they lost, but then turned around and ended up winning because they pulled that touchdown back.
Right. Well, you know, they won the game anyway for the first time ever in NFL history of an 11-10 score.
Oh,
like that
I can't believe you said that.
What a dog shit of a game that was.
I can't believe you just said that.
Why?
Because I was so looking forward to being like every single sportscaster on the planet Earth so that I could tell you that that's the first time that an 11-10 final score has ever happened in the history of the NFL. Oh, my God.
I have saved
everybody. You would have thought, they all thought they were geniuses because they were telling us this.
I saved you from the mundane. There you go.
I'm so disappointed.
But, you know, I think they got the call right? If the ball went forward. Now, see, everybody's bitching. See, this is one of those things. It's like politics. No matter what we say here, somebody's going to write me and say, you're fucking crazy. You're out of your mind. Here's the rule. Blah, 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 blah. No matter what.
Well, here's the thing. I thought it was an illegal forward lateral. It looked like it landed a yard in front. I mean, that's like going back to the Music City Miracle return. But regardless, they call the penalty, and then they say the penalty is declined. And the touchdown counts,
which doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Well, I see. When they did that, I thought, okay, they declined the penalty, no big deal. They got the fumble, the touch. Then they come back and they take the touchdown away, and I'm thinking, well, is that a dead ball foul? As soon as it's an illegal forward pass, is the ball dead right there, and nothing can happen after that?
Apparently so.
I don't know.
Now, I don't know, because I think that the NFL has come out and said that they actually got it wrong.
That's what I thought.
And Roger Goodell is now trying to push for an executive order to have this shit fixed by the time the playoffs roll around so that an official can actually go back under the hood and make sure he gets it right.
So we're going to have him under there twice?
Twice.
Oh, God. He watched the replay, he made the call, and he got it wrong. Watch it again.
Whatever. You know, I tell you what, I'm just glad I don't have the Steelers in the fantasy league and that I was behind that far. You see, I get a kick out of all these people that tell me, you know, man, I lost because of that, man. I had the Steelers in there, and I only lost by 4 points, and that would have given me two. No, you didn't lose because of that, because if you look on the rest of your team, I guarantee you there's somebody on your bench that outplayed one of your guys that you started, and that's what lost you the game. Yes. There's always somebody on your bench got 6 points and 100 yards or whatever.
Well, Brian Billick decided to chime in, and I have a theory about this because there's a few people who are defending Donovan McNabb on not knowing the overtime rule.
Brian Billick.
So here, this is the super genius.
Genius.
Here he is.
Yeah, I'll wager. I have no way to quantify it, but half the coaches and administrators in the league didn't know that you ended it with one overtime.
And I think he's one of them. He said half, John, half the coaches, players, and administrators in the league, he would bet, don't know the overtime rules.
That is to say 50%, Tom.